Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Monday, November 10th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Another busy week. Every hour on the hour, something happens, which is, keeps me in business. Gets a little tedious once in a while, but I'm not going to whine about it. We're all ramping up for the holiday season, and people are spending money. I went out to L.A. on Wednesday night. Airport was packed on a Wednesday night. No holidays. I mean, it was jam-packed. Flight to L.A. sold out. So Americans are doing what they always do. They're traveling, spending money. I mean, I know some are cutting back, but boy, I got to tell you, and everywhere I went this weekend in L.A., Southern California, tons of people spending money. American consumers drive this economy and the worldwide economy. And they need the government to be open to maximize American potential. And that is the subject of this evening Talking Points Memo. So finally, after 41 days, and this was all contrived, and I'll explain it in a moment. The government is now, looks like it's going to be reopened. There are a little more procedural things, but they got 60 senators to okay opening up the government, and 8 Democrats, 8 Democratic senators. And if you want their names, all you got to do is Google and it pop up there. And they said, okay. But, most Democrats want to keep the government closed because they closed it. The Democratic Party closed it. What the Republican proposition was, well, look, just extend the government spending into January because there's another rigmarole has to go in January. And we'll talk about the extension of Obamacare fees. That's what it's all about, health care. And Democrats said, no, you got to give everything we want now. And Trump said, blank you, we're not giving you everything you want. Government shutdown. That's it. That's it. Now, the Democrats believe they won this controversy because of the election last week. Maybe they did. The polls are back and forth, but a lot of polls say that American people blame Republicans. Okay, that's not true, but what are you going to do? So anyway, it's a complicated but interesting exercise in how corrupt our government is. And it is corrupt. It's still the best government in the world as far as our freedom is concerned, but it's corrupt. Schumer, the senator from New York, who's the minority leader, he wanted to keep the government closed. And since it's not going to stay closed, there are left-wing Democrats who are mad at Schumer. Roll the tape.
Breaking news. Chuck Schumer needs to be replaced as minority leader for caving to Donald Trump. Look, I may be the first and only member of Congress to say this, but someone needs to start speaking the truth. If you're not willing to fight to stop premium hikes on 20 million Americans, then what are you willing to fight for?
There's no premium hikes. There is going back before COVID, because during COVID, so many people were ill, the government had to spend the money to help those people who were ill. And now, by law, the spending for Obamacare is supposed to go back to pre-COVID level. But Democrats don't want that. Ro Khanna doesn't want that. He wants to keep the COVID level spending and then add to it the ultimate goal being the national health care system is run by Washington, D.C. That's what the Democratic Party wants. Okay. Now, Schumer, you may remember, last March voted to keep the government open. Okay? He was savagely attacked by the far left. Roll the tape.
Schumer signaled he was going to fight, and then he didn't fight. Why was there such a disconnect, not even between House leadership and Senate leadership, but between what the Senate minority leader was saying and then what he ultimately did?
Because Schumer acted responsibly in March. but he got hammered so badly that he said, never again, now I'm going to be irresponsible. And he is. And he was intimidated by the far left because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is going to primary Schumer. And she'll beat him in New York State, unless things change. I don't think Schumer's even going to try it, okay? He'll hang it up. I think the election's in 4 years or whatever. But Schumer does not want to be brutalized by the far left. He's a coward. He is. He's always been that way. He's not going to stand up for anybody but himself. So Schumer knows the right thing to do is to keep the government open, but he's not going to do it because he voted against it because he doesn't want to get that grief again. And that's the truth. That's absolutely true. Now, Schumer doesn't really care about, in my opinion, I could be wrong, socializing medicine in this country. He cares about himself, as I said. That's it. It's to hold on to his power. But the real far left liberals, they want that socialized medicine. Let me just give you one startling fact, and our friends in Canada can confirm this. There are about 40 million Canadians. There are 343 million Americans. So, like Sweden and like other European countries, Ottawa runs the healthcare system. And it tells the doctors what they're going to make, and the nurses and the drug companies, and sets all the prices. Well, if you want a knee replacement or any kind of what they call elective surgery, you got to wait a long time in Canada, sometimes more than a year. You'll be limping around if you need a knee, okay? So many Canadians come to the United States. There's also a shortage of surgeons in Canada. Did you know that? Because why spend all that money going to medical school and all that time, and then you get out and you're making, okay money, but you're not making American doctor money. So if the Canadian system were brought down here, and I was talking to Howie Mandel about that. He's a Canadian, Mandel. And I was on his podcast. I think it's going to be out tomorrow, but we'll signal you that when it comes out. And I was talking to him, I said, Howie, the American healthcare system will collapse because many, perhaps most doctors, particularly in Los Angeles, New York, the big cities, they're not going to go into the government-run system. They'll go to concierge service, and they'll charge whatever they want to charge. And the Constitution allows them to do that. Government's not going to be able to force them. So you have two tiers. The wealthy people, like O'Reilly and Howie Mandel, we can buy the concierge service and get our knees replaced anytime we want. But the regular folks can't. They'll get much less care. They'll get physician's assistants instead of doctors, because there will be a shortage of doctors if the government runs it. So all it is, I'm sorry to be complicated, but everybody, all of us watching me, listening to me, you're all going to have to go into the healthcare system. Even if you're healthy now, nothing will go wrong. But just know what you're doing. And that's the memo. So Donald Trump under severe pressure for high prices, particularly on food, says that he wants to give everybody $2,000 unless you're rich. Not going to give the rich people $2,000. Fine. I don't want $2,000. I don't want $2 from the federal government. I don't want anything other than what I paid into, which is Social Security and Medicare. I don't want that because I paid it. It's my money. But do I want President Trump giving me $2,000? No, I don't. Give it to somebody who needs it. I don't need it. So how is this going to happen? How is everybody going to get a $2,000 check from the federal government? Well, nobody knows. So maybe the president will define it, but that caught a lot of people by surprise. He said it just yesterday. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. He says he's going to use tariff money, give everybody a lot of money, a lot of relief. I wouldn't be surprised. It's vote buying, no doubt. But many Americans are suffering. They're broke. So we'll watch it. Not going to be easy. And Congress may have to pass this. Not going to be easy. The cost of everything still rising, and many of us are relying on credit cards to cover essentials. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. Americans now owe more than $1 trillion in credit card debt. You may have thought about calling American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to lose your low mortgage rate. Well, good news, they created the Smart Equity Loan. It lets you tap into your home's equity without touching your current mortgage. Unlike a home equity line of credit, this loan has a fixed interest rate and one predictable monthly payment. No upfront or hidden fees. It only takes 10 minutes to get started, so please call 888-462-9557 or visit americanfinancing.net/bill. Veterans Day is tomorrow. No mail delivery, federal holiday. Should be. I mean, millions of Americans have died for their country since the Revolutionary War. And I am participating in a special on NewsNation. It will run 10 p.m. tomorrow night, Tuesday, on America's greatest warriors and some who were not that great, who everybody thinks were good. Roll the tape.
It's the mid-1800s. The colonies have been liberated by George Washington, and the young nation has been strengthened by Andrew Jackson. But now the Civil War calls on new heroes to keep a fractured Union intact. General Ulysses S. Grant came from humble beginnings and rose to lead the Union Army against the rebellious South. His willingness to make hard decisions led him first to victory, then to the White House.
He was a hero of the Civil War. Without Grant, it might have been a stalemate because McClellan, who was the first commander, he was a coward, and his troops did not respect him. And then Lincoln went through 3-4 guys, and they were terrible. And finally, he drags Grant, who's out in the hinterlands, because this guy at least will fight. So we analyze all the big generals all throughout history, and yes, in some surprises. So joining us now from New York City is Leland Vittert, the correspondent on The Special, and of course, the author of the book Born Lucky, big bestseller, Dedicated Father, Grateful Son, My Journey with Autism. And anything surprise you about The Special, Leland?
Yeah, that I think it could have been 5 segments. We spent the day at West Point, Bill, after I interviewed you, and they gave us the head of the history department at West Point to take us through the generals and the lessons learned. And it was, I think, one of the top 10 or 15 days of my life listening to him. And our viewers are going to get a taste of that, of the very best, and to walk around the plain, the parade ground at West Point, and see the statues of Washington and Grant, of Eisenhower, of Patton, and then bring those alive on the screen is this just sort of great juxtaposition of the history we know and then the history that will be written by those cadets now at West Point.
Now, I didn't see The Special yet, but they say it's very good. I think it's important for Americans who really don't know a lot, and generally speaking, because public schools don't teach history anymore, about their leadership on the battlefield, because we tend to mythologize our generals and our military now. It's not like Vietnam, where the military was, whoa, they were getting hammered unfairly. But we talk a little bit about Vietnam and the poor leadership that led to that debacle. And then, of course, we talk about the modern wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. But what I took away from it was that, and I don't want to give it away, but you asked me who the greatest American general was. Don't give it away. We want people to watch The Special. And my answer surprised you, right?
It did. And I would say that the person at West Point who we interviewed, the head of the history department at West Point, disagrees with you, Bill. So we kind of, we adjudicate that in The Special.
Oh, But I didn't get to rebut him. See, you interviewed him after
you see,
me.
that's what happens when you do your interview first. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of stuff swirling around. Now, one of the guys that you and I kind of went up against was MacArthur, General
Sure.
MacArthur in World War II, who was, a good general, sure, but so many deficits. And you kind of disagreed a little with that, right?
I did, and we went to the MacArthur statue, right, at West Point, and looked at duty, honor, and country, the speech he gave. Old soldiers never die; they just fade away. And went through that with this head of the history department about why MacArthur, as a soldier, has a different meaning as a general than other generals, than Pershing and others that you and I talked about, Patton, Grant, on and on. What I think was most interesting is, and we tried to do this in the specials, we tried to find common themes between all these men. And probably what was the most common and most important theme was their ability to gain the respect of their troops. And we pointed that out. You talked about that just now about Grant, and then in the Civil War with McClellan. McClellan's problem. But that was the common characteristic. How they did that through all the different generals is totally different. You think about somebody like Eisenhower and Patton, couldn't be more juxtaposed. Eisenhower and MacArthur, very different personalities, but yet would become such amazing leaders.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot in there. And I want people, again, it's on Tuesday tomorrow at 10 p.m. News Nation. So just a quick question. The book, pretty impressive, Leland. I'm glad.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad it's out, and it's an excellent Christmas and holiday gift because it gives hope to so many people who have children, not only with autism, but other learning disabilities. And parents need to have perspective. When you did the media for the book, it was mostly friendly media. Nobody was mean to you, right?
No, I think that's what's so amazing, right, Bill, is I did everything from you and Steve Bannon all the way through Joe Scarborough for Born Lucky, talking about the story of my dad when I was diagnosed with autism, adapting me to the world rather than the world to me. And you talk about finding a topic in America right now that Joe Scarborough and you and Steve Bannon can agree on and almost come to tears at different times. Talking about it has been this story of Born Lucky. And you said it's a message of hope. I appreciate, Bill, you talking about how it's been a bestseller, and thank you to anybody who's come on this journey with us and bought the book. But to me, what has been most important about the reception is the emails and the letters and the phone calls and the text messages and the social media posts from hundreds, if not thousands of people I've never known, thanking me for telling them and showing them that they're not alone, thanking me and telling them that there is hope for every parent of a kid.
Yeah, that's the key to it. All right, the book is Born Lucky, and I will see you at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight for the Leland Vittert program on News Nation. All right, so I'm sure you saw the Bill Maher stuff with me, and we're going to run a little bit of that in about 2 minutes here. But that was
run a little bit of it tonight too.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting back and forth. All right, Leland, we'll see you tonight. Thanks for taking the time.
See you, Bill.
American homeowners, the FBI has been warning all of us about a type of real estate fraud called title theft. The target, your equity. With just a forged signature, ownership can be transferred out of your name, and without protection in place, you are facing an emotional and financial nightmare. That's why I partner up with Home Title Lock. You can find out today if you are already a victim and protect yourself. Use promo code BILL at HomeTitleLock.com to get a free title history report plus a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring, urgent alerts, and if you are a victim of fraud, they will spend up to $1 million to fix it. Don't be a victim. Protect your equity today. That's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code BILL, or use the link below. That's HomeTitleLock.com, promo code BILL. When you're buried in credit card and loan debt, it's easy to put it off and say, I'll deal with it later. But here's the thing. Done with Debt has a little-known strategy that can dramatically reduce or even erase what you owe. This fall, they will aggressively engage your lenders because they know rich credit card and loan companies are doing year-end accounting and cutting deals to clear debt fast, meaning you need to start with Done with Debt right now, this fall. They can help end your debt fast without bankruptcy or loans. In fact, most clients have more money in their pocket the first month. So get started while you still have time. Go to donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their specialists for free. Visit donewithdebt.com, donewithdebt.com. Okay, final thought. So I did Billy Bush podcast, Howie Mandel podcast, and Bill Maher HBO broadcast. On the Maher thing, millions of people, I knew that was going to blow up. I told Maher, I said, get ready. So the first thing was anti-Semitism. Roll it.
Bill, thoughts on Jews?
I don't want to make it awkward that I'm here.
No, but all my business people are Jewish, so and they do a great job.
How
One
white
of
of
them's
you?
up there right now. And, we have a personal connection, perspective from O'Reilly, and I know you're looking forward to that, Mar. You can tell. Number one, you've been doing this show for about 23 years, right?
Yeah.
Did you invite Fuentes on a program?
No.
Why?
That's a bridge too far for me.
Okay.
That's a troll. He's not sincere. It's just gross. Like I said, I didn't even want to talk about him tonight. He's the guy who runs on the field.
You have to talk about him.
The camera doesn't show.
Because he broke through. Because you have to talk about him. So you didn't invite him on a program. I don't live in that world. I didn't invite him on my program. You can get somebody like him at Speaker's Corner in London anytime you want.
Right.
They're wandering around with wine. Okay, so why would you have them and waste all of these nice people's time? Why? Okay? That's number one. All right? So to say, well, everybody...
The answer is because the Republican establishment never met something so far right that they won't, at least some of them, take it seriously.
See, the Republican establishment couldn't care less about this guy.
Well, they could this week.
No. They don't care about him. They are embarrassed by him. Okay, and again, I will do an extensive analysis on what I just said on YouTube this week. The second one was that Maher has alienated some liberals. Roll it. And you were disenchanted, and correct me if I'm wrong, which I very rarely am, so you probably won't have to do that. You're disenchanted with the far left wing of the Democratic Party, okay? Because you believe that it's poisoned the well for everybody else, like the congressman here.
Because they never met anything that was counterintuitive that they didn't love.
Right. So they want to put trans people in here, and they want to do this. And it just dilutes the message that the Democratic Party has traditionally had, that we're for the workers. We want to improve the lives of the backbone of the country. Now you're into all this fringe garbage that Americans don't want. I think that's your posture.
No, I wouldn't put it that way, but go ahead.
Okay. But you might want to rethink, because that's a good way to put it.
Well, I'm still on the air and you're not, but go ahead.
Did that. So we did a town hall on NewsNation 2 weeks ago from the Kennedy Center. 23 million people watched, 23 million, okay? You can add up all the HBOs you want. You're not going to come close. Just want to correct the record. All right, so there you go. And it's a pretty good joust back and forth. I knew he was going to try to get in one of those, so I was ready for it. The final one is politics in general.
What about Gavin Newsom? Now, I mentioned in the monologue.
He has hair like you. You guys have the same hair.
I wish.
It's a slick back thing.
I mean, you both do have great hair.
I wish someone would come up to me and say, Gavin?
No, you don't, Mark.
I do.
You want to be Gavin Newsom?
I want to look like him.
You really? You want to look like him?
Oh, he
Look at you're in decent shape for an 83-year-old man. He's wrecked the state.
Not enough. Well, okay.
I know that it doesn't matter.
He didn't wreck it, but yes, I agree. He's too far left for my taste, and he's not going to be president unless he moves to the Senate. But he's a politician, and I think he has that ability to. And now he looks like he is the front runner. Is he not the front runner for the Democratic nomination as of now?
No.
Wes Moore.
Wes Moore, isn't he?
Governor of Maryland. Okay. So we posted a bunch of stuff on BillO'Reilly.com that I don't have time to play for you. That's entertaining. I watch the Maher show. I would say I watch 50% of the time. Most people are intimidated by him, because he's up there and he's been doing it a long time. But you know me. So anyway, it was a very interesting experience. I've known him for a long time. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed the program. We have, as I said at the top, very busy week. We're on it all. Thank you for watching. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.